In this series of DVDs, we're going to talk about a lot of components of the square to square method. But the most important is to always start with a good grip. Now, there are really basically three types of grips that we use as we learn to play the game. It's the 10-finger grip when we're young and we don't have very big hands. Then we have the interlocking grip where you interlock the index finger of your left hand with your little finger of your right hand. Again, that's mainly for players who have small hands. That's the grip that Jack Nicklaus used, and he was pretty successful with that grip. But most players use the Vardon grip. And the Vardon grip is just where this little finger overlaps that index finger rather than interlocking with that grip. Now you want to take the golf club and you really want to act like you're shaking hands with it. So we've reached out here and we've shaked hands with this left hand, and then we reach in there to grab the other one and shake hands with it. And you'll notice these V's go up to the right shoulder. So that's the method. You shake hands with the club like this. Now we don't come in there. I see a lot of grips where their hand is way under like this. Well, would you walk up to somebody and shake hands? Looks like you're asking them for a quarter or something. So you want to keep this where this hand comes in and everything stays fairly neutral, going up to your right shoulder. And that way we keep that square face. It's much easier to keep that face square with that type of grip. The grip is the most important thing in your golf swing. If you don't have a good grip, it's going to be very hard to use the methods that we're going to be teaching in this swing. So let's try to work on that Vardon grip. Turn the club back with it and keep it square. It's always going to work for you if those hands are neutral. I want to show you now some of the faults of a bad grip versus a good grip. Part of the problem is that when this hand is too weak on the club, you see a lot of players that'll get it underneath like this, then this is very hard. It's much harder in the square to square method to get the club up here. In fact, it almost goes over the top and causes you to lay the club off. Or if, on the other hand, if you've got the right hand too strong, the same thing is there again. We talked about that trying to shake hands, but a lot of you put it here, and when you get it up here, again, you're laid off and it causes you to come through and hook the ball. So we don't want this right hand to get too high on the club either, because there again, if you try to take the club back in these motions, you'll feel the stress in your hands. So try to get this club neutral. And that's what we call, this is the neutral position. Sometimes you have grips that even have lines here that'll actually show you where to put your hands. There are practice grips that are what we call the perfect grip that you can acquire at your pro shop or sporting goods store that will help you. You can get a practice club and put that grip on there and then turn the club, and then you get up here and now the club is in the square position. So as long as you have it in that neutral position, it's going to be much easier to turn it in the square position and pull it through and hit better shots. But if you've got a bad grip, it just complicates everything you're going to learn.